You shared some really interesting stuff about using Binance P2P recently, and one thing really jumped out, this whole accidental transfer scam.
Yeah, that one. It's definitely worth digging into.
So that's exactly what we're doing today, a deep dive into understanding that specific scam.
Right. So Binance P2P, just to set the stage based on sources like Dr. Gamari's work, it's basically a platform where you can trade crypto directly with other
The
users.
turn a person, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Gives you, more flexibility. You can set your own prices, choose payment methods for things like Bitcoin, ETH, USDT.
gotcha. So less like a big anonymous exchange and more direct. I see the appeal, the flexibility.
Sure. And they have this key thing, an escrow service.
Ah, right, the safety net.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah,
When you start a trade, the seller's crypto gets locked up by Binance.
out to the middle.
Uh-huh. And it only gets released to the buyer once, both people say the payment's done and dusted. It's meant to stop someone just running off with the money or the crypto.
Makes sense. That escrow sounds pretty vital. But like you said, supposedly. Even with that, it's not completely scam-proof, is it?
No, definitely not. Our sources make that clear. And this accidental transfer thing is, well, it's a prime example of how scammers can still operate.
And it's kind of sneaky how it works, right? It sounds like it targets people's better nature.
Totally. It plays on trust, empathy,
Mm.
makes you think you're helping fix a genuine mistake.
Okay, so our mission here then is to really unpack how this scam actually functions step by step.
Yep. And crucially, how to spot it, how to protect yourself.
And worst case, what you need to do if you do get caught out.
Exactly. Drawing directly from what we've learned about how these things play out.
All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts. How does this scam usually start? Walk us through it.
Okay, so typically it begins just like any normal, legitimate P2P trade on Binance. You, as the buyer, you find a seller, you agree on the crypto, the amount, the price, how you're going to pay.
Standard stuff so far.
Right. You send your payment, say, via bank transfer or whatever method you agreed on, and then the seller's crypto goes into that Binance escrow we talked about.
Okay, crypto is locked, payment sent, seems secure. So where does the oops, I messed up part come in?
This is the twist.
Yeah.
After you've paid, and while the crypto is safely in escrow, the seller contacts you, and they claim they've made an accidental transfer.
Accidental how?
They might say something like, oh, I accidentally sent other funds to the wrong bank account. Or maybe I used the wrong crypto wallet address for something else entirely, totally unrelated to your transaction, supposedly.
Okay. But that sounds suspicious already.
It should sound suspicious, and it's really, really important to remember that most of the time this is just a story. It's fabricated, made up.
Just a lie to confuse the buyer.
Exactly, to create confusion and pressure. And sometimes, to make it seem more real, they might even send you something that looks like proof. Maybe a screenshot that seems to show a mistaken bank transfer or, the transaction to some random wallet. But these can be easily faked,
Yeah,
doctored.
right. Easy enough to fake a screenshot these days. So they create this doubt, this sense of urgency. What do they actually ask the buyer to do then?
Well, they usually push for one of two things. They might say, hey, can you send the crypto again, but this time to my correct wallet address? Trying to get a double payment,
Oh,
essentially.
wow. Okay. What's the other option?
Or, and this is perhaps more common, they'll say something like, look, just release the crypto from escrow now, please. I needed to sort out this mess I've made. I promise I'll get your payment sorted out after.
And that's the trap. Because if you release the crypto from escrow,
Bingo. The moment you release that crypto based on their sob story, they've got what they wanted.
they might have your original payment and now they have the crypto back too.
Precisely. And at that point, poof, they usually just disappear. Stop responding, block you, gone. You're left without the crypto and maybe out of pocket for the original payment too.
That is really devious. It sounds like it relies heavily on manipulating people's feelings. We looked into the psychology behind this, right? Why does it actually work on people?
Yeah, it really does. It preys directly on your sense of trust and empathy. You hear accidental, you think mistake, and maybe you want to help.
Right. Your instinct is often to try and fix a problem, especially if someone sounds distressed.
Exactly. The story creates confusion, like we said, but also urgency. I need this fixed now. You might feel pressured, maybe even a little responsible for helping them resolve their supposed mess.
I can see that. Plus, you've already started the transaction, you've sent money, you're kind of invested already.
That's a big part of it, too. It taps into that sort of sunk cost thinking. You're already in. You want the deal to complete, so maybe you're more willing to bend the rules or ignore red flags to just get it done.
And the fact it's all happening on Binance, a well-known platform, probably adds a false sense of security too.
Absolutely. People trust the Binance name. They assume, maybe subconsciously, that everything happening on Binance must be okay, or that Binance will protect them no matter what. Scammers definitely leverage that perceived legitimacy.
So they're using the platform's reputation against the user?
You could say that. Plus, P2P trading, by its nature, is more decentralized than using a standard exchange. While that offers freedom, it can sometimes mean, well, less direct, immediate oversight on every single interaction. Scammers can sometimes exploit that space.
It's this tricky balance, isn't it? Freedom versus needing that safety net.
It really is. It puts more responsibility on the user to be vigilant.
Okay, so knowing how they operate and the psychology they use, let's talk prevention. What are the absolute must-dos to avoid falling for this? We identified some key steps.
Number one, absolutely critical. Always, always use the escrow system properly. Period.
Don't bypass it, don't release early.
Never. Don't release that crypto from escrow unless you are 100% certain you have received the correct payment in your account and there are zero issues. Even if they spin this tale about an accidental transfer, you stick to the process. Escrow is your shield.
Got it. Rule 1, honor the escrow. What else?
Rule 2, verify everything meticulously.
Hmm.
Double check, triple check all the payment details before you even think about confirming the transaction or releasing crypto.
And if they do claim this accidental transfer, how do you verify that?
Don't just take their word for it, and definitely don't rely on screenshots they send you. Demand real, verifiable proof.
Like what kind of proof?
Ask for, say, official transaction IDs from their bank or payment provider, something you can potentially cross-reference or that looks genuinely official, not just a picture they knocked up. Maybe confirmation directly from the payment platform they claim they used. Be demanding about proof.
Okay, so push back. Ask for solid evidence, not just their story or a dodgy screenshot. Makes sense. What's next?
Next is mindset. Be skeptical, inherently skeptical, especially if someone claims an accidental transfer in the middle of a P2P deal.
Treat it as a red flag immediately.
Absolutely. While, yes, genuine mistakes happen in life, in this specific context, it's far, far more likely to be a scam attempt. Trust your gut. If the story feels weird, rushed, confusing, it probably is. Don't let them pressure you into releasing those funds.
Trust your intuition, if it smells fishy. Okay, what if you're feeling pressured or unsure, but maybe not 100% certain it's a scam yet?
Good question. If you have any doubt, any suspicion, don't try to figure it out alone. Contact Binance support immediately.
Use the platform's help system.
Yes. Explain the situation. They handle disputes all the time. They know the patterns. They can give you guidance, investigate the seller's history perhaps, and advise you on the safest way forward. Don't feel you have to resolve it just between you and the seller if things feel wrong.
That's really good advice. Leverage the platform's resources. And finally, something about personal info.
Yeah, always important. Protect your personal information. Even if the scam isn't directly about stealing your identity, be super cautious about sharing things like specific wallet addresses beyond the one needed for the trade, detailed banking info, ID documents, etc. with anyone you're just meeting on P2P.
Why is that particularly relevant here?
Well, a scammer might try to use any extra info they glean from you for other purposes later on, or even try to build a more convincing profile for future scams. Just keep sensitive data locked down. Only share what's strictly necessary through the official platform channels for the trade itself.
Right. Keep the interaction focused and don't overshare. Okay, those are solid preventative tips. But let's face it, sometimes people do get caught out despite being careful. What should someone do the moment they realize, oh no, I think I've been scammed?
Okay, if the worst happens and you realize you've released the crypto and the seller has vanished, the absolute first step is immediate contact with Binance support.
Don't wait. Don't hope they'll come back. Report it straight away.
Exactly. Time is critical. Report the incident, explain what happened, tell them it's the accidental transfer scam. The sooner they know, the sooner they can start investigating. Maybe freeze the scammer's account or funds if possible, although realistically recovery isn't guaranteed.
Understandable, but gotta try. What should you give Binance support to help them?
Give them everything. Provide all the evidence you have. Screenshots of the chat log with the scammer are vital. Transaction IDs for both your payment and the crypto release. Any proof the scammer sent you, even if it's fake. Dates, times, usernames, everything.
Build the case for them, basically.
Pretty much. The more info they have, the better they can investigate.
Okay. Beyond Binance, is there anything else someone should do? Like, go to the police,
It's definitely something to consider filing a complaint with authorities, your local police, maybe financial crime units, depending on your location and the amount involved,
Is that likely to get the crypto back, though?
honestly. Tracing and recovering crypto through traditional law enforcement can be really challenging. It's complex, often international, but having an official report filed can sometimes be useful later, maybe for insurance, or if the scammer is part of a bigger operation that eventually gets busted. It also helps authorities track the scale of these problems.
So it's worth doing, even if immediate recovery is unlikely, contribute to the bigger picture.
Right. And the final piece of advice, if you've been a victim,
Learn from it.
yeah, basically, be extra cautious in the future. Maybe stick to trading only with sellers who have very high ratings and lots of verified trades. Double down on all the security checks we talked about. Use the experience, unfortunately, to become a much more wary trader.
Okay, so wrapping this up, this accidental transfer scam on Binance P2P, it really is about deception, isn't it? Playing on trust, creating false urgency,
That's the heart of it. It's psychological manipulation within a digital marketplace.
and the clear takeaway seems to be vigilance is key. Awareness and caution are really your best defense. Stick to that escrow, verify everything, trust your gut, use support.
Absolutely. Understanding the scam is step one. Implementing those protections consistently is step two. That's how you minimize your risk significantly.
It really does make you think, though, about trust in this whole decentralized finance space. Even with platforms trying to build in safety nets, there's still so much emphasis on user education and just being careful.
It's an ongoing challenge for sure.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening, thinking beyond just this one scam, how are you really evaluating risk in all your online dealings, not just crypto? Are you skeptical enough? What actual steps are you taking day to day to keep yourself secure online? Definitely something worth mulling over.
Good point to end on. Stay safe out there.